City Plan Commission of Hudson together at 6 o'clock on August 6th. And if we do call to order, we did that. So discussion and possible action on the July 23rd, 2019 minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other corrections? If not, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And 3 public hearings. Is that on? No? So that's just an agenda item?
Yep.
No unfinished business. We'll go right to new business. Number A, discussion possible action on a certified survey map for 815 Wisconsin Street, Willow River Cemetery Association. If you guys want to come to the podium if you have questions or explain what you're doing if you want to.
Yeah, I want to know why you're doing it. Why are you guys doing that? Just out of curiosity.
You just got to come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, I'm Ron Capon. I'm on board of directors for the Willow River Cemetery, and this is Mike Miller. I'm sure you all know him. He's a sexton or the groundskeeper, or does about everything up there. So the reason why we're considering selling that lot is that, as you probably all know, or maybe not, that the cemetery survives financially unfortunately, on deaths. We don't get paid, or Mike doesn't get paid. We can't pay Mike unless we have enough funding. And to be quite frank, I've been on that board of directors now for about 2 years or so, and it was really in rough shape at the time, and it's been in rough shape, quite frankly, for years and years, just about enough to make it, right? Sure. So you're always like one mishap away from really being in trouble. And yes, we do fundraisers up at RJ's, we do fundraisers out at Big Guys, and we kind of rely on donations. Most of the people I've talked to since I've been on the board, relatives included, they think the city funds this. They think somebody funds the cemetery. They fund Mike's hard work. That's not the case. So this property that we're talking about today is a lot that it's owned by the cemetery, and about 4 others behind it, which we're not talking about. Will never ever be used for burial. That's been written in the rules and whatnot. So instead of us maintaining it, or Mike maintaining it, if we sold that property, we'd be able to bank some money and I call it the emergency fund, if you will. So that's the real reason why.
Let me just, I'm expanding my questioning here. I mean, out of curiosity, because I don't know. You said it's pretty much by deaths. How are other cemeteries funded? Are there other methods of doing it? Are we doing something wrong, or is the city not? I mean, the city has nothing to do with it, obviously.
No, the city contributes money.
Right, exactly. We do get, and it's
Yes.
much
I didn't know that.
appreciated. Yep. And
But I guess I'm just curious. I mean,
is
is there another way to fund this thing, to change things so you're not teetering and wondering if you can write a check tomorrow and that kind of stuff? Because I understand what you're saying, and that's a lousy position to be in.
It is, and you know, years ago, I can tell you this too, that Anderson Corporation used to donate, I think $20,000 per year, just before my time. You know how businesses are today. Okay, I'll give you this money, but I need to write it off as a tax write-off, right? Whether it be 3M or Anderson's or the next. And we are not 501(c)(3). And 501(c)(3) allows these corporations to say, hey, we're going to give you $20,000, but we're going to also claim it as a donation.
Can you get that designation? Do you want it?
We want it, but the fact of the matter is it's not like you call somebody up and get it, right? Okay. So we've been grappling. In fact, we're getting closer, and we thought we had it up till last meeting. Right. And then she said, well, there's something about cemeteries that they won't allow the 501(c)(3), and it's just kind of a nightmare. Sure. So yes, we've looked at different avenues, and we also, to your question about other cemeteries, some of them are well, you probably know better than I do, but I know some are city funded. I think it's in Richmond.
Richmond has been recently added to the city municipality. Okay.
Yeah.
Most are, quite a few of them are still in our position, a separate organization.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, sorry. Other cemeteries have just over the years had more contributions than we have, quite frankly, in terms of donations. And so, yeah, as Ron pointed out, we literally are kind of at the mercy of grave sales and burial fees. And
The reason I asked the question, though, is it appears that this is a temporary fix. It's a short-term
right.
funding solution that, you know, in a certain amount of time, you'll be right back in the same position.
Well, if
And
we...
I'm
oh,
thinking,
sorry.
hey, is there a way to fix the problem?
Mike, state your name and
Oh, I'm
address
sorry.
for the
I'm
record.
Mike Miller, and I'm the caretaker at Willow River Cemetery here in Hudson.
Thanks.
I will, to answer your question, Fred, I would call that from years and years, and you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, if we had, $60,000, and that's probably lowballing this whole thing, that would, it'd be enormous. I mean, enormous. And yeah, eventually I'm sure something would, require some more expenditures, but not to that kind of number. I think it'd be a number that we haven't seen for how long? Several decades?
How many grave sites do you have left for sale? I mean, if you had to sell X amount a year to make the place solvent and run, based on that, and let's say that's 50 or whatever the number is, do you have 300 holes in the ground left? Do you have 500 in the holes in the ground left? What do you,
Countless.
We have
Countless.
thousands?
Well, countless,
Countless.
probably close to
Countless.
thousands, yeah, because we do owe,
The property on the west side of 9th Street, as you've probably seen burials over there
yep,
already. In
yep.
fact, we may be putting a fence up, not us, it might be a donation again. And again, a lot of the things that you may see improvements, we'll see one soon with the asphalt around the gravel area as you pull in. It's a donation coming from some kind-hearted people that are there going to donate that. So that's what we rely on. And I think if we had this sale of the property, I think we wouldn't, I wouldn't touch it until needed.
Okay.
That's the way I view it.
I didn't mean to digress,
Nope.
it's just we wish this not to be the case for
Yep.
something that's been in place such a long time. Such a history.
Yep.
People
Tiffany,
don't-
anything to add then, as far
As far as zoning goes, it's currently residential for single family, so, and that's what the intention is,
Right.
to sell it as a single family
Is there
lot,
access
so.
to it from the streets
Yep.
and all of that? So
Yep,
that-
it's on the
none
corner
that's-
of Wisconsin and 8th, I believe, so it's,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right on the corner of, if you know where DeWitt's used to live there, kitty corner, if you will, and right next to the mic. I mean, that's the lot. And to me, it's, I live right up the street up there, so it's a good place to have a house.
Is that a gravel? Is 8th gravel?
It's paved now.
Paved now.
Well, I'll move to approve with the city's conditions. I don't know, is there anything else to say?
One more question. What was the issue on the garage that was up there?
so David Grade brought up that accessory buildings aren't allowed to be on a single lot by themselves. They have to have a primary building on the same site. And so one of the conditions we listed on here was that would need to be brought to property owner's attention, either have it be removed from the property altogether
The
or,
garage that's currently sitting there, the old one,
yeah,
that's coming down.
perfect. So, yeah.
I'll second the motion.
any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, good questions. Have a good night.
5B, discussion possible action on the concept development plans for Hudson Hospital EMS garage at 2800 Center Drive, Hudson Memorial Hospital, Inc.
So in front of you, you will find some concept development plans from the Hudson Hospital for a new EMS garage facility to be constructed on, 2720 and 2800 Center Drive, just south of their hospital building. It'll house about 3 new EMS vehicles, along with 4 sleeping quarters, 2.5 bathrooms, a kitchen, a dining area, a lounge, and some additional office space for the EMS crew members. There's also some space set aside, for future expansion to the garage. So, staff's recommending approval with a few conditions, one of which is to merge the properties with the main Hudson Hospital parcel, because this is like a conditional use, like land use sort of situation, where if they didn't merge it, they would need to apply for another conditional use permit. So this helps simplify things, just merging it all into one.
vacant lot at this point, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yep. There is like a parking lot
Parking lot,
behind
yeah.
it, but yeah,
And they've been throwing some grass and
yeah,
junk in there.
yep, right in the front, yeah.
Any further discussion? What's your pleasure?
I'll move to approve with, again, conditions stated in our report. We need it, what was going on and what's going ahead.
This is
One
another-
last question, I mean, does the city have any input into this garage? Is it adequate for the city needs? I mean, maybe this is none of my business, none of our business,
It's
but,
really not our business now. It will be
okay, that's the end of that
the
then.
direction of the Lakeview and the Hudson Memorial Hospital. And it does, it's exactly what we were looking at, half the building at our dime, and now it is not.
Then you answered,
Piece of the puzzle.
then you answered the question, thank you.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Communication items for future agendas. Anything?
Airbnbs. Aye, there's a bunch of them around town, I mean, they're everywhere.
Duly, how do you know? Is it online or
They're
something?
online. I mean, I know people, I
Google
mean,
something?
BB was renting her place out, you know, for the Super Bowl. I mean, everybody, they're all over the place. It could be huge.
I don't know how many are here, but
But the point of it really is more than anything else is it fair to the other people that have applied and are paying?
No.
Mary
I'm
Claire's
sure Mary
state.
Claire would love to have that tax dollar.
As would the city.
As would, well, and these guys are getting away with it.
Well, but it's a license issue too that needs
Yeah,
to be addressed.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
They get
that's what they'll
licensed,
do.
And they collect room tax dollars.
Yeah, they'll research that, bring us the options.
I move to adjourn.
All in favor, is there a
Second.
All in favor?
I'll let you second.
Aye. All opposed? We are adjourned, thank you.